Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be continuing on with colonizing the entire solar system in the latest terraforming update of Universe Sandbox. So, if you didn't see last episode, definitely go ahead and check that out first. That is where we went for Mercury and Venus and got both of those guys spec'd up pretty nicely. I've made a few adjustments since last episode, so if we just hop to Mercury, you can see its average is a lot lower, but if we look at the actual entire surface, the hottest points are reaching about 19, so it's on the cooler end, not too hot. But Venus, on the other hand, has been a nightmare. I've spent a lot of time trying to get Venus right, and it still plays up if I run the simulation really fast. So also a few adjustments to Venus's visuals. I've given it a slightly more murky sort of ocean colour. The atmosphere, I've gone with like a more, on the ray light scattering here, I've given it more of a minus percentage, almost given it more of like the orange sort of tint, which I'm actually going to roll with. So I think it looks quite good, and it still fits Venus's theme of being one of the hotter sort of planets. So, I think it still rolls, it still fits the theme quite nicely, and it just differentiates it from Mercury and Earth so far. So I think it's quite a nice design. I've also changed the surface colours a little bit. If we just look down here, base colour, few different mixes of like sort of sandy dune colours in there with like the darker green. I think that does look quite good. So I've left that like this. I think that looks pretty cool. And then composition, if we just go to the life likelihood, I think it's in a decent place right now, 95 and 66. If we go to Mercury, it's probably a little less due to it is a smaller planet in general, but there should still be some life likelihood there at the moment. Yeah, so 81 and 10, so that's fitting quite nicely. The average on Mercury is quite nice, so it's still got some polar caps going on there, so it's in a good place. Good old little Mercury, actually. I'm quite liking it. It's doing well. I mean, if we look underneath, no changes to Mercury's visuals. That's what we got there. I think I may give it, while we're here, I think I may give it just a slight more change. I think maybe just change the elevation a bit more, just to get a little more sort of mix in there. I'm not sure how I want to do it, though. Maybe sort of a more murky, sort of brownish colour as well, because it's still going to be, a hotter one. But then this one effectively is colder than Venus, so maybe it should keep its more greener shade. Actually, I'm not really sure. So I like to have the colours all separate, so you can really notice the difference. Maybe we give this some more of a vibrant shade in a way, but I always like them to blend in nicely. So we'll give them a little, maybe a little change there. But I want to keep it roughly the same, because I like to still have that sort of sandy. I like the sandy look mixed in with the green. I have to say, maybe make the green there a little more intense there. But Mercury can always come back to. I mean, let's see what you guys think of it down below, really, as well. But I always like a bit of the sandy dune sort of mix in there. Maybe make that more of a darker sort of green, actually. Oh yes, okay. I'm gonna stick with that. And then ocean colour, I did want to maybe adjust Mercury's just a little bit, so I may give it just a slightly more nicer looking blue. More this sort of shade. Oh, that's a little too much, isn't it? Go for the lighter side. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't know about that. But I think more of the traditional blue actually would suit this a little better. Let's make it a little brighter, actually. Why not? I'm going to stick with that. Just have custom colours as well. Mercury's still got its hazy atmosphere, though. I think that still fits quite nicely. So there's Mercury. So that's doing well. And then Venus, I've had a lot of nightmares getting Venus spec'd up. It probably will increase in temperature over the episode as well. But yeah, Venus is looking good for now. So there it is. So just get a quick look at it again. So there is Venus. And I'll say I'm really pleased with the visuals of it. I think it looks really, really cool. But anyways, moving on. So that's our recap. Earth. Now, Earth obviously looking great as always. Got the perfect average. But Earth has a moon. So our mission today is going to be starting with the moon itself here. So the moon, all the way down here. We got a lot of work to do. No atmosphere, no water, nothing. So I did actually discover this recently. So I only just noticed this about 20 minutes ago. There's a button down here somewhere, and it says about applying Earth's atmosphere to any object. Now I did see it on Venus earlier. I don't know where it is on the moon yet. It's probably because the moon doesn't actually have an atmosphere. So what we'll do is, we need to get an atmosphere. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start shooting oxygen and a bit of water towards the moon. And the moon may need a bit more rotation because it's quite a slow rotator. So we'll see how we do with that. But let's begin. Also, I'll quickly throw in a save because we did just change Venus and Mercury a bit. Okay, so let's get started with the moon now. So first of all, atmosphere before we do anything. Water. We need an atmosphere. So let's start with material. We're going to go with some oxygen. Yep. Right. And probably maybe a bit of carbon dioxide once we get into this. Well, just see Earth chilling in the background there. Very nice. So 31 minutes simulation speed, that's fine. Okay, let's just slowly start shooting oxygen on here so we can see it's going to take a while for it to sort of condense because it's in liquid form. I wish it could change what form it was in, but it's in liquid form right now. So we're going to start, you know, spraying a bit of oxygen around the moon. Nice little spray there. We'll see how we do. Probably have to change a bit later. We'll throw just a tiny bit of carbon dioxide just in there. So there's an atmosphere generated immediately with some carbon dioxide. Bit of nitrogen. So we need a bit of nitrogen mixed in there as well. Where are we? Argon. Tiny bit of argon, you know, thrown in. Water. So let's now start spraying the moon with, you know, little bits of water. So we'll have to get that all sorted. So you can see the water's all mixed in with the oxygen and all the other bits in there. So we'll see how that does itself. So we're just going to casually spray it. We'll have to let the object sort itself out. Let's just slowly start running the simulation. Because, you know, the moon probably needs a bit of carbon dioxide with that atmosphere. It's going to need a bit to get it warm. So we're going to see as this slowly starts to form into something new. So carbon dioxide again, we'll just throw in there. Let's just start looking at the temperature of the moon now. So let's go into here. So it's starting to warm up already. That is absolutely perfect. That's exactly what we want. Okay, great. Looking good. So if we go down here, is that little... Yes, there we go. See, I saw this here earlier. Work in progress atmosphere presets. So you can actually add the atmosphere of Earth, Venus, Mars or Titan to any object just by pressing one button. But that's kind of cheating, so we won't use that. But unless we get really stuck. But that's quite cool, because then you can terraform objects faster, ideally. But remember, those settings may not work for every object, because their settings are built for each of their individual objects. So you may get some pretty extreme things. But for instance, if we applied the Venus atmosphere to Earth, you know, probably see some extreme stuff. But we could probably do a video seeing about adding Titan and Mars' atmosphere to Earth. You know, it could be quite interesting. But what we'll do is, let's run up, speed up simulation time. Let's actually let the moon sort itself out. Let's see where it roughly ends up here. Oh, it looks like it's slowly changed. The visuals, all the elements are mixing in. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool, because they're becoming gases. Now the planet's warming up. The oxygen, I think it was the nitrogen, they're becoming gas forms. So the moon's getting a little mixed up there. So we'll see how that forms. That's cool. I love how it changes visually as the temperature increases. That's seriously cool, that is. So, oh, it's cooling down again now. Okay. What is that? Material particle. Oh, that's something must have thrown at the moon. Let's just get rid of that. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Right. I almost thought for a second that was an object that had, like, blown up. So, right, there we are. So, moon, how are we doing? Right. So it looks like we need a bit more carbon dioxide to really get this into gear. And look how it's really cool and misty right now. I really like that. It's so cool. Right, so material, carbon dioxide. Yes, please. Right, let's slow down time. We need to make sure this all shoots in here. So there you go. Is that adding it? Slow down time more. There you go. Right, let's give it a nice... There you go. So that should hopefully start kicking the moon into gear. We just need a bit of that. So it's losing material already. That's annoying, but we figured out how to fix that, which is increase the atmosphere pressure. It's already at 2 though, so the moon has always been notorious for doing this. In all of the versions of the game, going years and years back, the moon has always smoked up when you try colonizing it with its current settings, which has always been as a big annoyance. Again, following on from Mercury last episode, I don't know how to fix it. I mean, the only solution I found for Mercury was add more atmosphere mass, but the moon has less mass than Mercury, so that's going to be a bit troublesome if it does continually smoke up, because then we'll have to struggle. We will struggle to keep water on its surface if it does that, which is really annoying. So I bet you it's lost all of its water. Yeah, it has. Oh, see, that's really, really infuriating, you know, when it does that. Because the only way I know is to increase the mass. And some people are saying increase the mass, some people are saying don't. So I think if there's no choice, we will do it. But I don't want to, because it will upset the orbit of Earth, which is not really what we want, and is extremely frustrating when it does that. But it may be the only choice. Earth should still be able to hold on to it anyway, but you can see it's still losing material, which is, oh, it's so annoying. Right, anyways, let's just get it up to a good temperature before we do anything else. So there you go. So increasing. I mean, as long as it's sitting around 20 max, ideally. See, it's a little too. So maybe we've gone a little overkill with the carbon dioxide here. So we may actually, I'm actually going to halve it straight away and see. Oh, yeah, oh man, we've added way too much. Oh my god. Moon, what are you doing? Oh dear. Half that again. And it's still way too hot. Let's just half it and half it over and over. So we need to obviously get it in the green. So let's just keep an eye on that. Let's see roughly where. It should start cooling down now. We're in the green. Alright, let's see where it ends up. Okay, looks like we're max. Okay. 21. No, it's still going down. 20. Okay, is it increasing? Okay, so we're sitting around 19, 20. Okay, that seems to be settled. Right. Now, water. This is going to be the real nightmare, is trying to get the water. Oh, hello. Very thick, are we? Okay, let's just turn off that. Let's just give it a proper interesting atmosphere. So we'll go with, also we're going to go with blue. We'll leave it like that for now. Pale. We'll lower the opacity. It's a little thick for my liking. Alright, so there you go. So the moon's atmosphere is built. No clouds, though. That's interesting. Right. Water's been a little glitchy, as always. I really hate that it just loses water due to its material. I may have to... I kind of want to raise it and see what the team actually says. I've never actually asked them about that. I might actually raise it with the Universe Sandbox team and say, you know, how come it's always objects of low mass? Like, it has to be programmed to do that, because it's been doing it for years. Low mass objects have always lost water. Yeah, I need to ask them about that. I need to get a little more insight on how that works, because I don't know any solution to fix it other than increase the mass. So yeah, I'll pop the questions after this video and see what they say. It'll be interesting to know. Right, so if I just start adding water, it's... Oh my god. Whoa, hang on a minute. That has increased the mass. Let's undo that. That's annoying. Right. So I guess we're going to have to use the material spray in that case. So water, right. Now, we're going to see the moon lose material. You watch. Right, so... Keep an eye on that, because I reckon that's going to drop. Okay, so we're increasing. Okay, let's just let that settle. See, look, you can already see it's... Oh, that's so annoying. Really don't understand. That's one of the things I've never been able to figure out in this game, is that. Right, settle liquid. Okay, so there you go. So you've got some patches. Alright. Maybe it is holding on. That doesn't look like it's decreasing. Okay, right, let's just add more. Nice big splat of it. Hopefully it can hold on then. Right, and then down here. Settle liquid. Okay, decent solid amount. But look at the state of that. Look how much it's... See, that's really annoying. That really is annoying. But we can colonize it in the moment. But if we continue run this simulation, it will eventually lose all of this. But, oh, it's so frustrating. I mean, we can try... I mean, this has never really made an effect for me. We can try adding a magnetic field. So usually Earth is about... I think Earth's one's about 2.6. We'll give this one a 2.9 maybe, just to give it a bit of a... I don't know. Again, I don't know if this actually makes any difference. It's still losing material with the magnetic field. So I really do not understand this mechanic of the game with how it loses water. If anyone knows, anyone who's really knowledgeable about the game, because I'd say I'll toot my own horn. I'm pretty knowledgeable at Universe Sandbox. I've been doing it for 8 years. But this is one thing I've never cracked. Now, I may be missing the obvious. Please let me know if I am. The only solution I know, like I said, is mass. Other people have suggested adding hydrogen. I mean, we can try for this instance, but so far I've never seen that work. Life likelihood's going up. That's good. We can try adding just a tiny bit, and then I mean it's a really tiny bit of hydrogen. So hydrogen here. I mean just a tiny amount, because a lot of people have always said use hydrogen. So throw just a little bit in there, just a tiny bit. You know, just a few little splats of it. People have also said add more iron. I mean, the moon's already got a pretty decent sized iron core in there. So again, that's not really... You know, it's got plenty of iron. You can see the massive iron core in the middle there. Anyway, so again, that's one thing I don't get. But I mean, you can see it's losing mass with hydrogen on it anyway, so... Or is it? No, it still is. Yeah, oh dear. Yeah, that's really annoying. How's our water looking? Oh, it's actually losing the hydrogen. Look, the hydrogen doesn't even... last either. Even worse than the water. But you can slowly see solid mass. I want to say the water is actually holding, but I don't know what material that is it's actually losing right now. I bet you it is water though. Let's have a look. What are these particles actually contain? Let's turn this off. What are these particles made of? Oxygen. Oh, oxygen. Carbon dioxide, water. It's just losing everything. See, that's really peculiar. I don't understand. But anyways, enough of me babbling on. Let's actually get this guy fully specced up. So, yeah, I'll ask the question to the team to continue that on. So, right. Yes, it's map. And then we want... Oh, is it elevation, is it? And then custom. There you go. Right, moon. So, low elevation. Don't see much of that so far. Let's turn off the magnetic field as well, because that's a bit annoying. Middle elevation. So the green... Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe like a more light screen, and high elevation is the majority of the surface. Okay, so... That looks pretty cool, actually. It's too enhanced. We have to dim that down a bit. Okay, something more like that. It's like underneath the atmosphere as well. So that's what it actually looks like. I think the water on the moon will give that a nicer shade as well. Oh my gosh. That isn't green. What? I want to get that nice sort of cyan blue sort of shade. Oh wow, that's really hard to get actually. Look at that. Don't want it going straight into the green. I want the nice sort of... Something more like that. Yeah, there you go. And then just darken it. There you go. Something like that. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Always nice to have a slightly different shade. Right, there's atmosphere. So atmosphere's a little too thick for my liking. So we're going to lower that down. We're going to give it a similar earth sort of shade blue atmosphere. Maybe we'll make it two-tone. Let's go... Oh, yeah. So how does that look when you really turn it up? So... Go for the hotter side or the cooler side. I love the two-tones. They're so cool. I'm going to stick with that for them. We'll give it a really enhanced sort of two-tone sort of shade. Still at 33 degrees. So again, it's a little hotter than I'd like. But again, we can fix that with a little albedo upgrade. So let's just look at the zone here. Oh, that mass loss is so annoying. And I don't want any of that flying into the earth. I wish there was a way you could disable mass loss. Just... Oh, 'cause it would fix so many of our problems. Because it shouldn't be doing that as far as I understand. So... Right, let's see how it cooperates now. Still increasing, even with the albedo increase. Okay. Let's push it a lot further out. Okay, now it's cooling. Right, let's put it straight to 0. And it does warm up. Okay, so we'll see how that settles. Right, that's the moon for now. Because something tells me we'll have to come back here and re-add the water. But there you go. So, why is there no clouds? I think we just need to increase the opacity, don't we? There you go. Yeah, that's better. A little more liveliness to the moon. Fluffy, I think we'll go with Wispy. Wispy and Fluffy. There you go. That's a nice little coverage of it. Okay. Cool. Looking good. Right, there's the moon for now. That mass loss is so annoying. So that could fly into the Earth. When the moon goes in front of the Earth, it could fly into it. So we may have to replace the Earth at some point with a fresh one, but we'll see. Right, moving on. That's the moon done for now. Mars. Hello, my friend. Right. Now, Mars, it has the mass. Mars has always been one of the greatest objects to terraform because it doesn't overheat. So this will be a great one. And Mars already has an atmosphere to build off. So if we look at Mars's current stats here, so let's actually see what Mars contains. So there's its current stats. So it has a bit of carbon dioxide already. Water, nitrogen, argon, oxygen. It's got a little bit of oxygen. Huh? Okay. All right. Okay. What we do is, first of all, Mars. What you need more than anything is temperature. So carbon dioxide. Let's bring it up. We're going to start shooting carbon dioxide into Mars. All different points. We'll throw a nice load into Mars because it needs it. It needs more temperature. So, carbon dioxide added to Mars. Let's watch as Mars starts to increase. And what we'll do is while we're here, we'll throw a quick save just so we can keep the moon in its current state. So we'll get that saved as we start with Mars. Right, and now we need to watch that temperature because that should start to warm up as the carbon dioxide is added. Well, it should do. Carbon dioxide is being added. Come on, Mars. You know you want to. Let's look on the actual composition here. So carbon dioxide is there. This should start changing as we shoot stuff into it, which it is. Okay, so we should need a nice little load of carbon dioxide. I'm not sure why it's frozen, but let's see that. It should start becoming, as you can see, it's starting to become gas. I'm hoping. Was that going up or I think that's going down? What? Gas, liquid. We'll see. Let's just watch Mars play out. Need some time. Let's look at the zone as well, because that's more important than anything. So you can see right now it's not enough. We need more atmosphere added. So we can always start to do it here as well. We can add more there. So we'll see how Mars sorts itself out. 73.2. Go on, Mars. Okay, so adding carbon dioxide makes it colder. Really? No, there you go. Oh, there's warming up. There you go. It's sorting itself out. Come on, Mars. Should start to see it over time. There you go. That's making a good substantial change. We'll watch that cool down. So let's continue to speed it. There you go. That's what we want to see. So you should start to see it starting to cloud up by the looks of the icon there, which it is. So you can see that atmosphere is building up. That's good. Oh, fantastic stuff. I hope we haven't overkilled it, but that's fine if we have, because we can just always just lower it. So there you go. So it's going into the positives. That's exactly what we want to see. It looks like it's... Oh, or is it hung at... Oh, We want it to peak somewhere because it's always quite hard to get it exactly where you want it. So it looks like we've overshot it a bit. Which is always the way, because figuring out the exact amount is near impossible. But you see, Mars has gone dust storm mode. It's filled up. So what we'll do is we'll start to lower carbon dioxide a bit. Because obviously we've overshot it. So yeah, 54 degrees. We're hotter than Venus now. So that's not what we want. So we'll do is we'll just do a straight halve, straight to carbon dioxide. Just halve it straight up, because that should hopefully kick it a bit. So it's cooling down now. Perfect. Right, what I'm going to do is give Mars a bit of oxygen. Definitely going to need some of that. So, or definitely more of it. So let's just, give Mars some oxygen. We need a bit of that. And it's smoking up. Don't you do it as well, Mars. And we're going to start adding some more water to Mars as well. Let's start to really throw it all in. So let's just give it a nice sort of spray all the way around. Bit of water. Right. Now we need Mars to sort of figure itself out for a bit. It's at 77 degrees. It is a little too hot. We should start to see that slowly sort itself out. We can speed it up by doing the settle gas button, which is somewhere. Okay, settle, equalize gas, settle liquid. Okay, that should hopefully, there you go. Right, so we're starting to see a few changes. Looking good. Water, oxygen. So there goes, all the stuff you need built in there. 79 degrees though, still too much for my liking. It needs obviously way less carbon dioxide, so we're going to just go straight up, halve it again. Let's see how Mars cooperates with that. It's got a 24-hour day, roughly, Mars, so that's fine. The rotation doesn't need any change in it this distance from the sun. So let's just let Mars do a few orbits. Let it settle down, because the atmosphere of pasty is pretty thick. In the meantime, we'll keep an eye on the rest of the solar system. So it's like the moon still has its water, its current point. But look how cool it is as we slowly start to terraform everyone up, and eventually it'll be the whole list. But that's really, they all look different in their own accord as well. That is seriously cool. So really, it's really cool just seeing it start to do that. Right, let's look at our average here. So what are we looking at? So the hottest point is 75. Yeah, that's a little too hot. It's gone from a cold desert to a hot desert now, so that's not what we want. But it's cooling down, which is exactly, so that's looking good. So hopefully it will sit in the 20 mark. I mean, that's where I usually like to aim my colonized objects. Composition, how are we looking on the stats? See, lifelike could starting to increase. Earth, look at that, it's both going up. That's exactly what you want to see. Good stuff there. Pasty's little thick. Let's actually see what's going on below. So there you go. That's what it looks like below right now. And it's looking good. Actually, it's looking really, really good. Check it out. Hey. Very nice. I think we need a little more water added. Oh, still smoking up, you. Ugh. Nothing drives me more crazy than that. Apart from that old ice glitch from years ago. That was a real nightmare. But yeah, the lack of, or the smoking up, that's plagued me since the beginning of time. It's always been so annoying. Right, let's let that sort itself out. We'll settle the water just to speed that up. There you go. Give it a nice... Because Mars is... I think Mars is... Yeah, its lower elevation is mainly in the north. So it's a nice ocean north, and you've got the nice big constants in the south. I think we'll give it a little more ocean levels. We'll just manually do that ourselves. See the volcanoes are coming through. Maybe that's a little too much. We'll lower it down a bit. There you go. That's always a good looking. Yeah, that looks great. They've got the nice big constant there with the four main volcanoes mixing there. Olympus Mons right on the edge of the ocean there. Got the other higher planes. It's looking good. Right. Surface-wise, we're good. Now it's all about just getting that temperature right, and then we're good to go. So stop losing material. Right. 44 degrees. So it's all about just getting it down in there. Right, let's see how we're doing now. Right, come on, average temperature. We need that to drop. How's everyone else doing as well? Keep observing everyone else. Moon's still looking all right. Okay, cool. So the average is dropping. That's perfect. Okay, cool. Or is it? No, it looks like it's going up again. Okay, maybe we need a little more. What's our albedo looking at as well? And our atmosphere pressure. What we looking at? That's 680. Oh, that's a little too much. I think that's a little too overkill. We're going to lower that. We're going to halve that straight down because we don't want it that high. We want it roughly around the 1 to 2 marks. We'll put it at 1.24. That should hopefully, because that lowers all of the elements in the atmosphere at once. So that should hopefully be in. Yeah, there you go. Straight away we can see we've overshot. So we actually need to probably decrease the albedo a bit. Infrared emission is fairly high. Yeah, so we've just killed it doing that. So that's not good, not what we want. So again, we're going to go back and actually re-add that ATM pressure. So we're going to double it up. 2 ATM. Let's see how 2 ATM stands. Okay, warming up. Okay, there you go. Maybe we just need it 2. No, put it straight to 0. Let's see once it goes from 0. So it's, yeah, a little. Or is it? No, yeah, it's definitely not enough. Right. So maybe we'll just go with more carbon dioxide then. Just a little more. Yeah, it's always a little tricky just getting exactly where you need it. So stats are looking good. We'll give it magnetic field. Again, I don't know if this makes any real difference. We'll put it at 2 radius of Earth. Because Earth is about 2.6, so it makes, you know, give Mars a bit of magnetic field back. There you go, that should help. Okay. Infrared. What's our average looking at? So the hottest points are 5. Yeah, it's a little too low for what we want. Let's go back up to maybe 3 ATM. Increases the infrared emissioncy as well, which is interesting. Right, there you go. Right, that should be enough to get you hopefully in gear now. So come on. Remember, some points of Mars' orbit are like Mercury's. Mars isn't a complete sphere. So here, it's closer to the sun. Over here, it's slightly further away from the sun. So as long as it gets temperature at the closer point, then we can get a nice sort of thing going. But you can see the average, if that's going to continue to go 8, 9, 10, that's fine, because the hotter points should be in the 20s. So again, there you go. That is a perfect temperature. We do not need to modify that again. And look at our stats. How are our stats looking? Where are we? There you go. 25%. Sounds good to me. Because we're not making perfect Earths here. Remember, we can't... Because to do that, because you need to make the radius and mass better. But there you go. So Mars is in a good state right now. 10 degrees average. Ignore the smoking up stuff. That's a bunch of nonsense. There you go. Right. So, underneath. That's what we're looking. First of all, got nice polar caps as well. Colour. So vegetation, it probably would be... So the game doesn't think it's habitable right now. Well, I don't know what the game's thinking, because it should be perfectly habitable right now at this temperature. I mean, it's got the oxygen. It's got the water. So I really don't know what the game's on about there. Yeah, got plenty of oxygen in there, yeah. Makes up a good amount, so there you are. Right. Always on. That's what it in theory would look like. But yeah, I like to customise it my own way. So... City lights, will throw those on. Give them a nice sort of red look to represent the red planet. Base colour. We need... That's not what we want. It's elevation and then custom. There you go. So Mars. We'll keep the red sort of desert look on the lower elevation. I think that would fit in nice. It still has that. It still has its red sand in there. And then it's all about getting those up. The volcano, or the volcanoes are the ice caps on top. That looks cool. We'll keep those as white. Looking good. And then ocean colour, I guess we'll give you a nicer sort of shade of blue. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. Nice vibrant shade of blue. Oceans there. Maybe that's a little too much. Dim it a little bit more. There you go. Right. That's looking good to me. I really like that. Yeah, the Mars is like reddish sand. It is in there still. It still is in its DNA. But, you know, the green has taken over a bit more now. Looking good. Just to be those damn particles. Alright, there you go. Cool. And then on top, clouds, atmosphere. So it still has its sort of reddish look to it. And that's the scattering at that. We'll lower the opacity down. Do we keep the red atmosphere? You know, Mars retains its dusty atmosphere a bit. We could do. Maybe we make the clouds, maybe the clouds retain some of that dusty... Mars shade. There you go. So we're going to make a slightly more reddish shade. Atmosphere, though, I do think it needs to be a little more pale. Ooh, hello. Because we've just made it custom, haven't we? Right, so... The blue, if we put it to 500, it'll make it more of a blue tint. That'll make it more red. That makes it more blue. Opacity. Two-tone atmosphere on it. Yeah. Cool. Lower that down a bit. So it still retains its original reddish atmosphere, but we're going to make it a little more pale. We'll dim it down a bit. And that's at 500, isn't it? So that really gives it the... Yeah, you can see it's got the blue look to it. Okay. Got the two-tone... Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, actually. I do like that. What do you guys think of that? Right, now let's just run the simulation. Make sure it's all functioning, which it is. It's so weird that when you speed it up, the particles disappear. Well, it's because they're coming out faster, so we don't see them as much. So that's good. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that looks really good. I love the volcanoes just having their own little islands. But yeah, they got the higher polar caps on those. We've got a bit of snow in the north and south as well. It retains its reddish shade to some extent. It looks good. I like it. It's not full-on blue like Earth. You know, it still keeps a bit of that dusty atmosphere. It's part of the planet's sort of DNA, isn't it? So how are we doing over here? So keeping an eye on Mercury and Venus as well. Because it's all about keeping everyone happy. Venus is at 3... I mean, fine. If you want to... Yeah. Venus is a colder one now. Venus is so strange. You know, I modify it for ages and it won't cool down. Then I do something and it just stays like that for ages. Split to 0.97. Just give you... Oh my gosh, look at the difference that made. No thanks. 0.98. And then 0.99 was what it was on. Oh, that's so weird. Look how much difference. I'll put it to 0.98 for a bit. See how it... I bet that's going to make it skyrocket. But we'll keep an eye on Venus. So, there you go. Cool. Right, and then let's go back to the moon. Let's see how that's getting on. Please have the water still. It does. Okay, alright. There you go. Good. Right, let's hope it stays like that. But there you are. Alright, cool. I think we can call this a big success. And now if we line up, we're going to throw a save in, of course, as well. Definitely. Let's get in there so we don't lose our hard work. Looking good. Right, just lock on back to the sun there. Right. So, down here, we're on radius, yep. So, Earth, oh, this is cool, right, Earth, Venus, with its sort of greener, almost more murky looking shade. I like that. Earth, Venus, Mars, looking good there. And then there's Mercury, and then the moon. Check it out. Right in the middle between Io and Europa. Looking good. So we're making good progress here. I'm liking it. I can't wait till we get to the moons, Ganymede and Titan. They're going to be good. I really like Mars with its sort of red two-tone. That looks really cool. Venus, again, that has a two-tone effect on it as well. That looks really cool. Mercury, the lesser interesting of them, but it still has a two-tone mixed in there, just not as vibrant. That's looking seriously cool. I think that does look really cool. We can give it a little more. We'll give it a little more of a shade. I think Mercury, a little more. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? So everyone, they're different in their own ways, but I think that looks good. Again, guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Interested to hear your feedback as always. I hope you're enjoying it. And then stay tuned for next episode as we venture into the asteroid belt, as we're going to pay Ceres a visit. And that one, I reckon, is going to be a real tough one, because Ceres has even less mass than the moon, or it's got way less than the moon or Mercury. So this is going to be a real little troublesome little critter, probably to terraform. But stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to go and ask the guys in the Universe Sandbox Discord. I'm going to ask the team, is there any way we can stop it smoking up? Because that would be tremendously useful. So hopefully next episode we'll start with Ceres. Then we're going to move on to the outer solar system. So stay tuned for that. Again, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. Let's see if we can go for 200 likes today. Guys, it really, really helps the channel out. And yeah, it shows me you're really enjoying the stuff as well. So yeah, let me know thoughts, opinions. See if we can go for 200 likes. And if you haven't already, subscribe as well and help us on the journey to 40,000 subscribers. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, make sure you keep up to date with all of the latest videos that I release. But with that all said and done, guys, make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.